Hello everyone, I'm participating in the Secret Not Secret telephone game YouTube Hop. This is where 21 of us have come together. We divided ourselves into 3 teams of 7, and the telephone game is the first person in the team scrapbooks a layout and sends it to the second person on the telephone list. And then that second person scrap lifts it or takes inspiration from the first person's layout. And once she has completed that, then the second person will send the second layout to the third person. The third person will take inspiration, scrap lift, and then send the third person's layout to the fourth person. Rinse and repeat until we get all the way through 7 people. I'm the 5th person on the team, and I will list each person on my team in the notes below, so you can look at their YouTube and you can see the progression from, I believe Brianna is first. I know I am 5th. Janet Fritz was before me. She was 4th. Crystal Barrett is our anchor, so she'll be number 7. Chrissy, I believe, was number 4. And Vanessa was number 2. But I'll link them all down below so you'll be able to see them. But in this video, I wanted to show you how I take inspiration from a layout or scrap lift a layout. So first thing is I will show you Janet Fritz's layout, here, which is beautiful. I love the mixed media. The purple and the pinks kind of reminds me of a galaxy with the stars. So I will tell you that I do have a hard time scrapbooking stars. They're kind of my nemesis. I know some people have a problem with circles or hexagons. I love that. I can scrapbook that all day long. So this is what I'm scrap lifting or taking inspiration from. So what I started with is I really didn't have any star paper that I knew of. So I thought I would create my own. As I went through, I did find in an old Studio Calico kit, I believe it was, I had this gray paper with stars. But I felt it was a little drab. So what I did is I took a white piece of paper, and at first I was going to use the Vicky Bouton textured paste. It has a glitter base, and it didn't work through the stencil very well. This is an Echo Park stencil from Imagine That. So I decided that I was going to try the iridescent glaze instead, which I felt worked out much better. It went through the small stencils of the stars. So, and then, like I said, I put the black edge here to give it some contrast. Then I created my galaxy paper. So I created this with, what did I use? I used picked raspberry, distressed oxide, and faded jeans. And I did not have a purple in the oxide, so I just used distressed ink in, I can't read that one, something Concord, maybe grape Concord. So what I did first, and the way I created this, I put it at the end of the video, so if you do not want to watch, you can just end the video. But I do have it at the end of this video, so you can see how I created it. But basically what I did is I did the packaging technique first, and I used the picked raspberry, and I used broken china. So that's why you see this lighter blue in the background. And then I let that dry, and then I went and I took my tool and I just kind of covered it with the inks, and then I sprayed water on it, and then I kind of moved it around with my finger and you know, moving the paper. And this is the well, and then after this dried, then I used the star stencil, and I believe this is pumice stone distressed ink, and I just went and I added some stars to it, so all my background had stars. So once I got that done, I knew that I had 2 pictures of my daughter. This is the day after we went to NASA, and this is while we were at NASA. They were showing her how the astronauts exercised, and I thought that would be great that we had both of those there. But I think the pictures are too big, so I think I'm going to end up only using this one. And I will scrap the other one with the rest of the NASA photos. And then, so Janet's floated on the page, her layout, and I just couldn't bring myself to have it float. I still need something to anchor it. So what I did is I took the offcut of that, and I was like, okay, so that adds more contrast, so that makes me happy, and I will ink this as well. So I'm liking how this is coming along. So then I needed a place to journal, and I used the pocket page cart, and I was auditioning different ones. So this is Life is Meant to Be Remembered. I like the clipboard, but I don't like the brown around it. That one I felt was too blue, and I think I'm just going to end up with this XOXO, because once again, love the picture. So that will go there. So then I started thinking, oh, it still needs something. It needs color. It's still a little drab. So I went into my die cuts, and I found this in a card making kit, actually. These little stars. There's buttons that go with them as well, but I don't make cards. I don't even know why I have it, to be honest with you. Somebody probably gave it to me. So I thought that I could put these stars on a diagonal. So it shows some direction as well. Let's see, do I have another black one? Yeah. So I was just going to position these somehow. Not sure yet. Try and keep them so they're separated by color. And then I also thought that maybe these up here, I could maybe sew down on them. So they'd be like that. Jury's still out on that, because if none of the other ones are sewed, then it might look funny. Put that there. And finally then, for my title, so I'm going to journal here. For my title, I'm going to use these stickers from American Craft Harmony. They're kind of like holographic, and I think it's going to be Reach for the Stars. I'm hoping that they work. They might be not enough contrast with the gray, but we'll see. So maybe I'll make these in star, just the word star in these, and then I will put Reach for the in black. Not sure yet. But so that's where I have gotten so far with the layout. So I'm going to glue this down and put the finishing touches on, and then I will be back. Bye. Hi everyone, so I'm back with my final layout for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, the telephone game YouTube Hop. My inspiration was drawn from Janet Fritz's layout that she sent to me, and basically what I drew from that was I did the stars, and she had that galaxy mixed media on a diagonal, so I did create that, and I have how I created that at the end of this video. And the diagonal, I put the stars, and I used this old package of stars. It had buttons and stars in it. I put the buttons in my button bin, and then I just used up all the stars on here. And I was thinking about sewing, and I found this Spiegel Mom scrap. It was the exclusively designed for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, and we received this on our retreat in March, so I added some sequins in there, and they had little epoxy hearts, so I added those. The clipboard was a pocket page card, which I cut out the background because I didn't like the background, and I'll do my journaling there. And I used the holographic Harmony thickers, and these were like from Hobby Lobby. I don't even know who those were, and I believe these were thickers as well. And then this was on a sticker sheet Out of This World. I thought I'd add that because it has that holographic like the Reach does. And brought some purple up in here, and like I said, I did the diagonal. And oh, the other thing I took from inspiration was her layering. She had layering around her pictures, so I did that as well. I added some vellum just for some texture. Then I sent my on to Katie Scott, who is going to scrap lift this. And like I said, I'll leave all the ladies' YouTube videos down below in the notes. And I hope you enjoyed my process video. Have a great day. Bye. Hello. So I thought that I would put how I made my galaxy paper at the end of the video, because some people may already know how to do this, and for those who wanted to see the process on how I created it, I thought I would throw it in at the end. This is the first time that I've done this. I did Google YouTube videos to figure out how other people made it, and this is the process that I came up with. So basically, I took a very heavy watercolor paper cardstock. It's a 8.5 by 11, and I did put a thin coat of gesso on it because I heard that, you know, that's supposed to help the color move across the page better. But I think that I put my gesso on too thin. I used a clear gesso. It was Liquitex, and it was a little gritty, and I think I put it on a little too thin. But what I'm doing here is I am putting broken china on. I'm using the packaging technique, but I'm using a blue grocery bag because that was thinner for me to control where I put my ink. I like that better than the packaging, using the packaging paper. And then I was able to wrap it also around my hand, and then, you know, after I did the blue, then I put another layer. I folded it down, and then I went with the picked raspberry, and those are both Distress Oxide ink, and it was just easier to control what I was doing with the ink. And the reason why I did the packaging technique first was I wanted to have those splatters come through the ink that I rub on after I do this process. So all the pink and the blue, I wanted to come through right here where you see that I'm just daubering that's the picked raspberry on. And you can see how that the broken china comes through, the splatters. So it gives it more of a galaxy kind of technique, in my opinion. So here I am, I'm putting the picked raspberry on, and I do the 3 colors going up to the page. Once I'm done with the pink, then I am and that's the Distressed Oxide. The next one is also a Distressed Oxide. It's Faded Jeans, and I use that because I purchased it that day and I wanted to try it. That's all. That's why I didn't go with the broken china. It was a good choice. It was a little darker, so it made it more of a galaxy. And I wanted to put it on, in my mind, I didn't want to put it on too thick. And right there you see I have a circle where I didn't spread it across the page too much. In hindsight, I should have put the inks on thicker, but it still turned out okay. Next time if I do it again, I would put them on thicker, and if you get those little circles, it's okay. You don't have to try to blend it out because once you spray the water on, it all goes away. So then I'm using, I think that's Concord Grape. The last word is Concord. The first word it has ink on it, so I wasn't able to read it. But this one's not a Distressed Oxide. It's just Distressed ink. I did not have a purple in the oxide, and I couldn't find one at the store. So I just went ahead and I tried that, and it, like I said, it's fine once you spray the water on there. And as you can see, that picked raspberry from the packaging technique, that's showing up through, so it's just giving it another layer of texture. So once I finish with this, I get my little mini spritzer, which I highly recommend a big spray bottle, which I will be going out and I will getting if you are going to be doing mixed media and want your ink to glide across the page. So I got my tiny little mister and I spray some water on it, and it's looking really good. And I make a mistake here next. So I spray it, I start moving it around, and then the lines I think are from the gesso, which are okay because, you know, Galaxy has that dimension, that texture. I don't think I smoothed it out good enough on the paper, but that's okay. So I take this roll of paper towels and I pick up a lot of ink off of there. I should have let it dry the way it was. So I spray it again, and I try to move it around again, and now that I've picked up some of the ink, it doesn't move as much. So then I take my finger and I try to move the pink up into the blue, because I felt that there was not enough pink on the paper, because I'm only going to use 6x6 piece of this paper. It's 8.5 by 11, so I want to get the best 6x6 square. So I thought I could add some more pink into it, but it seemed like it kind of smeared some of the ink off of it. So here I am now, I'm spraying the edge, and I should have picked it up and tried to move it instead of using my finger. But like I said, I'm happy with the outcome of it for my very first time. I have used mixed media before, but this was the very first time that I tried doing this technique, and I'm happy. Next time I'll know some better tips, and I hope that you found this helpful, and I will see you next time.